about big debuts, and our next guest made history when she became the first Black woman to appear on the cover of American Vogue magazine. This August will mark the 50th anniversary since that iconic cover. Since then, supermodel and our friend Beverly Johnson has graced more than 500 magazine covers, and she has ruled the runway around the world. Variety called her refreshingly brave for now telling her story in a revealing memoir. The memoir was called The Face That Changed It All. That memoir came out in 2015. If you've not read it, pick it up. Now, Beverly is bringing her funny, fearless, and unapologetic style into an intimate one-woman play. It's called Beverly Johnson in Vogue, where she takes the audience on a journey, opening up about her career, her personal challenges, and all of those things that make her so great. The show had its big debut in New York, January 9th, and has just been extended through February 4th. Please welcome our friend, actress, author, supermodel, the iconic Beverly Johnson!
Fabulous.
You are so, what? I just said to Linnell, having a moment. You are having moments on moments on moments.
Yes, yes.
First of all, the show, I went to the show. When I tell you I thought about it all night long, we're going to dig into that. But first,
yes,
you got married.
Oh!
Beverly married longtime partner Brian Milan. A surprise wedding,
yes.
October 13th.
That's correct.
You told our friend Sway in the morning about it,
yes.
but listen, it was a surprise.
Yes.
You didn't tell anybody?
No, I didn't tell anybody.
Nobody?
But he kept asking me, what do I want for my birthday? What do I want for my birthday? And I literally sat up in the bed and I said, I know what I want for my birthday. He says, what? I said, I'm gonna get married. And he said, okay. And I was like, oh,
Listen, between you and Lunell, I'm gonna be fine for this whole show. So how long y'all been together?
like 13 years.
You've been together 13 years.
Yes.
What is it about this time in your life that you said, this is what I want now?
I don't know. It just comes over you.
Yeah.
And you know it's right.
Yeah.
You know it's right when it's right.
Yeah.
And I just felt it.
Yeah.
And just lately, I've just been feeling all these miracles. I mean, miracles everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know?
I'll tell
look at
you.
this audience. Miracles.
I've seen, you and Brian out socially all the time, and I watch how he just protects you. And you are the fearless lioness who needs
Yes.
no protecting.
Yes.
But he comes in, and even after the show, when we went by to see your one-woman show, he was so proud. Everybody was so proud because you dig deep in this show.
Yes,
you talk about marriage, divorce, drugs, the Cosby
Yes.
incident, assault.
Yes.
It's also so funny
Yes.
and brilliant,
Thank
and your
you.
delivery. How did this come to be? I know your collaborator is someone you work with.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know, you went from modeling to acting and got rave reviews for your very first performance.
Yes. Yes.
Where was this born, or where has this been boiling?
Well, what happened was the 50th anniversary of the Vogue cover was coming up. And I said, how do I celebrate that moment? And we had Joshua Ravitch, who did Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking, is a one-man genius when he does a one-person show.
Right.
And so I asked him to do a show for me, and we put together a show. We did it in West Hollywood. To make a long story short, COVID came, and then it just went to sleep. And so he actually called the 59 East 59 Theater, and they said, we love Beverly Johnson. Beverly Johnson is New York, and that's how it all happened.
Already, the reviews have been incredible, but some of the big revelations have been shared. In one of the scenes of the one-woman show, you talk about using cocaine.
Yes.
You talk about the pressure to stay thin, being a model.
Yes.
You said you lived on 2 eggs and a bowl of brown rice a week in order to stay thin.
Yes.
We celebrate the greatness of Beverly Johnson, but you want us to know the work and the struggles that it took to get to this. And that's why it's brilliant.
Thank you so much for that. And also, the whole thing about the cocaine came up, and everybody knew back in our day it wasn't addictive, but it was our Ozempic, or whatever that thing is that they have out today, that weight loss thing. Yes, and it's really interesting because I'm in the 12-step program, and we go by attraction, not promotion, and my sobriety is sacred.
Yes.
But I just felt like I needed to share it with everyone at this point in my life.
Right, because it is true. You also talk about the joys of motherhood, but also the struggles, because at the time you revealed that your marriage ended and you were in a fight for your daughter.
Oh my God.
And you take us there. What is it like to lay your soul bare? Because you became famous for the face.
Yes.
Right? And now it's the story that's famous.
Exactly. Well, what's full circle is that my daughter had a daughter.
Yeah.
And I remember Ava being born, and she's rocking Ava, and I lost custody of Anansa to this guy, Danny Sims.
Which you talk about in the show.
Yes.
You went through this custody battle with your first husband and lost custody of the most precious thing in your life.
Yes. And my daughter's rocking her daughter, my granddaughter, and she says, Mom, I really understand what you went through. Because if David, that was her ex-husband, if David ever tried to take this child, you'd be coming to get me out of jail. So, I mean...
So what is it like, Beverly, to have your daughter now not only understand, but appreciate the journey?
It means everything. Because I think the only thing people really want, they want to be understood. And I think that's what my play does. You know, you laugh a lot, you cry, and it's like a roller coaster.
It is.
And that's life. But if you can take one thing away and say, if she can overcome that, so can I.
Wow. And that's what you feel. Coming up, Beverly Johnson's story on how the Vogue cover happened is one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard. We're going to share it after the break.
So I told Wilhelmina I had my sights set on American Vogue. She sized me up. She took a slow hit from her cigarette and said, "We'll get it," just like that. So I left Eileen Ford when nobody left Eileen and lived to talk about it.
That was a clip of Beverly Johnson rehearsing her one-woman show, the backstory of the Vogue cover.
Yes.
You were with Eileen Ford, who was the most important human being in fashion.
Yes.
You had the nerve to leave Eileen Ford and go to Wilhelmina.
Yes.
And they said to you, Wilhelmina said, we're going to get that cover.
Right.
Just like that.
Exactly. And what people don't know is that when Eileen Ford said, I would never get the cover, I knew she meant what she said.
Right.
It was the first woman that I really met that really wielded power.
Yeah.
So I went to Wilhelmina, her competitor. Wilhelmina was a Ford model, so you know how that went. And Wilhelmina got me that cover, and I stayed 6 months, and then I went back to Eileen Ford, and then I capitalized off of that cover with Eileen Ford.
Wow.
She was the biggest agency.
That was your... I think what that story pointed out is that you've had a brilliant business mind. Because that was they were playing checkers. You were like, I'm playing chess.
Yes.
I'm going to go get it, and then I'm going to come back and make you work for me while I have it. That's brilliant.
Exactly.
One of the things you talk about in the show is Beverly is in New York, not very far from where the theater is, where you're performing, and you run down to see the cover of the magazine.
Right.
But you didn't have any money.
Right.
And no one believed it was you on the magazine.
Exactly.
So they wouldn't give you your own magazine.
Yes, that's correct.
But I was so struck, by then you were red hot and everyone wanted to interview you. And there was a New York Times interview with you. And in the interview, the headline that came out of the whole conversation was, you said to the writer, I'm the biggest model, period.
Yes.
this was, and I love this story because this is 1975. The City Girls were not born. So you started the period, but it came at a cost. They started calling you the big mouth.
Yes, yes, they did.
And they started talking about how big the personality was versus the model who's just going to be quiet and be on the paper and be on the magazine.
Well, they were saying, you know, how does it feel to be the biggest black model in the business? And at the time, I was the biggest model in the business, period.
Yeah. Right.
And so I didn't care for that distinction he was making because it wasn't true.
Because that's what you were saying. I am an unapologetic black woman from Buffalo and all of the lineage that comes with that. But I'm a model and I'm the best, period.
Yes.
And that's what you were saying. Okay, I was really touched. One of the things that you reveal, Ruth Whitney, who was the former editor of Glamour magazine, because we couldn't pick up Glamour magazine and not see your face. And a part of the show, you read a letter that she sent to you about your impact.
Yes.
She said in the letter, your face on cover after cover after cover after cover really did finally change the way our white readers thought of blacks. That was the impact.
And she said, thank you for helping them along.
For helping them along. Yeah. Wow. Well, the show is beautiful. Thank you for always being here for the Tam fam and for me. You gotta go see Beverly Johnson. Limited time. She might be taking the show on the road around the world, but you gotta go see it now. Beverly Johnson in Vogue at the 59 East 59 Theater. It's been extended through February 4th. I highly encourage you to go see this show.